do. There, we are recording. I'm setting up, going live on Facebook right now. Okay. How's everybody doing?
We can't hear you yet, but
all right, unmute Bob and unmute Mickey. And Mickey, where are you, Mickey?
Hello.
I hear a voice.
Excited. And there, Mickey, I just made you a co-host. Just
okay.
Something happens.
Okay. Hi, sweethearts. How are you all? Hi, Bob.
We're good. Hi, Mickey.
Hi.
Bob, so it's good to see you back again, too.
So we are now live.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see you back.
Gosh. Okay, getting the last little things together here.
Yep, I know. I have to say some things about Facebook, so feel free to go ahead.
So we can just talk, or you need to talk?
We're live.
She has to do this. So we are live, and we are streaming through Facebook, so people can put their little note things up and ask their questions while we're all talking. Right now, there's 5 of us. It's got Kate and Oshara and Bob and Mickey. And we invited a few other people that we're going to hope can come on too. If you're having problems coming on, just say something on Zoom, and Kate will help work with you. No way on Zoom. No.
Yeah, I'll do
on
the best
Facebook.
that I can.
Yeah, because we sent it out to everybody.
We're working on one computer today, so I'm gonna try to monitor Facebook while we're doing everything on one computer.
While juggling like 6 balls and
yep. And now I got the voice turned down. All right, so there we are, truly live, and we've already got people joining us. Welcome.
Oh, good. Hello, folks.
Okay.
Welcome.
So if we wiggle, it's because I'm trying to type and. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hi, so let's wait for a few more to join us. I do have another meditation that I'd like to start with this week. This one is on finding your feeling tone in Nature of Personal Reality.
Oh.
Yeah. But until we, we'll wait a few minutes so people can jump in.
Audrey! There's our girl. Hey, Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Did you let her in, Mickey?
Yes.
Good girl.
That's my buddy.
She's got the power.
Yeah. I love it, and she knows how to use it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, So
hello, sweetheart.
How are you, Audrey? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. Let me ask to unmute. There you go.
No, it's muted still.
Oh,
there.
Now,
there
speak, Audrey. Speak.
Good. I'm good.
I just love the pictures that you post of your walks at night.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. I walked into poison ivy, which I didn't get it.
Good.
So
good.
I stopped thinking and dwelling on it. Why?
It's not stupid. It knows who it's messing with.
I started getting itchy, and I'm like, no, I'm not creating that reality.
Very good for you.
Exactly.
It worked.
It does work. It works at different rates for different things, depending, I suppose, on how much crap you've got up against whatever you're supposed to be believing is going to happen. It's trying. It's trying.
Because I bet the poison ivy of the world is like, we don't want anyone to itch. We're just sitting here. Who started this crazy belief that we make people itch? Stop it.
Well, it's just doing its thing.
Yeah, no, poison ivy probably doesn't, it's just like, I don't want to make you
itch. It says on my resume.
I'm poison ivy. I'm supposed to make people feel good.
These are the things I have at my disposal.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
And why are you guys calling me poison to begin with?
Yeah, you've got legs. Go somewhere else.
And I'll wear socks next time, which I didn't.
Yeah, truly. Oh, God, yeah.
That's a nice background you have there, Mickey. Are you in a different place than your own?
I'm in another side of the living room.
It looks very English two-door.
Yeah. It's so different from what I'm used to. All that, the wood, what do you call it? The beams, the oak beams and all that
Really
Mm.
big
stuff.
wooden beams, and yeah.
They're on the ceiling as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey, for those of you who don't know, is live from England. So
Yeah.
jolly good.
West Yorkshire.
Yeah. And then Audrey, still Rhode Island.
There she is.
And Bob, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. How's life in Pennsylvania, Bob?
Hot.
Still?
Yeah. Oh, it's still hot. And we're in the 80s today, but I had to mow my lawn, so it felt like
Oh,
100 degrees to me.
Gosh.
Had to
Bob,
take a nap.
I'm from Florida, so I can really relate to what you say.
Yeah.
This is all very different because it was actually cooler today, cool enough that I had to close the windows.
Oh
And
my gosh.
Jack put on heavier clothes,
Wow.
and I have on a shirt and a t-shirt, but it's summer.
Oh, and last Tuesday, Florida sent us a hurricane last week.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
was that for you?
We got about 8 inches of rain. Much of it came pouring through. We have a heater in the basement, and it comes up from the ground up through the pipes
Oh.
that are the vent for our heater. And water, I probably emptied about 35-gallon buckets of water.
ouch.
What?
About 5 hours, yeah.
In
Yeah,
your
we lost
basement?
power here.
Yeah.
In your
When
basement?
we have really heavy rain, yeah, it comes pouring through the heating vent pipe in the basement.
Did you lose any of your collections or any of your things?
Oh no, I collect it in big buckets and then
Okay.
and I haul it out and throw it out in the front yard. And
Oh.
normally a good rainstorm will produce maybe 2 or 3 bucketfuls of water, and this was about a 30 bucket,
Good heavens.
5-gallon buckets, and it was not fun.
I wouldn't have even been able to lift all those.
And the only way to fix the problem would be to dig up half of the garage floor and redo the
Oh, yeah.
entrance
The
to
pipes and everything.
it's where the chimney meets the piping, and it comes from the groundwater up. There's some groundwater that develops in heavy rain.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, when I
No
was
more
in
of
Florida,
that.
we were below sea level. So if you're digging in the garden, you knew you had 10 inches to go down before you hit water. So it
Yeah.
would start seeping into whatever you were digging. So,
Oh,
this is very different.
gotta respect Mother Nature.
Yes.
No
Yes.
choice.
She has an attitude.
We're hoping to have another couple of folks show up. One is a woman named Yoli. One is a man named Martin. We hope
Oh.
their bugaboo, their thing works, as well as Don. We interviewed a guy named Don last week, and his wife Peggy was delightful as well.
Oh.
We hope they can get on as well. So we're kind of waiting for them to hear from them as well.
And here on the Facebook, I see Jeannie West. I see Gabriel is on. Phil is on. Now, I started a live live Facebook watch party, which I've never done before. So I'm going to be monitoring this from my cell phone. So if people, and I'll try to watch both Facebooks, but I'm going to try to answer on the cell phone so I'm not bumping the computer.
She's amazing.
So we've got, Jonathan is on. Jonathan from Malta.
Malta.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Jonathan is on.
He's on Facebook.
He's on Facebook. Hi, Jonathan.
If you want to join us.
Yeah, and Louise
I've heard
Blaschi
wonderful things about
Donald
Malta.
Rainville. Hi, everybody.
We got a lot of people watching.
We do. Yeah.
I hope to see Shauna today.
Yeah, I'm looking for Shauna too.
So I'm glad everybody's doing well. And I see Judy Snyder is on. Hi, Judy. And she's in Florida. So we've got people from all over the world. I just love this so much. I would like to. Oh, go ahead.
Somebody had a big earthquake too recently, like yesterday.
North Carolina,
North Carolina.
Oh,
Okay.
I
up
did
near
not hear about that.
Virginia. Yeah,
So there's a lot of
5.2
different
this
things
morning.
going on.
All
Yeah,
right.
Mother Nature
Yeah.
kicks you in the butt some days.
Sometimes, and she's been hot lately.
Very. Well, she's very disgusted with us, I think.
Oh,
The
she
way we've
loves
been
us.
treating her.
She just loves us all the
Yeah.
She
time.
does love us. She just wants her children to stop abusing her.
Well, yeah, that some of
Well,
them.
you know,
Yeah.
the mother
Hey.
thing is like you have your baby and it throws up on you. You kind of expect
Yeah.
that, but once
Yeah.
the kid gets in its 40s and doesn't try to turn away, you get
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah.
Like learn to control that. Last week we had a wonderful interview with Don, who gave us Don Northrup, who gave us these wonderful letters from correspondence with Robert Butts. And we were hoping today to be able to speak with Rick Boyd. We want to interview him full on about his illustrious Seth history of.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. That we
Yeah,
were hoping.
he had an unexpected turn of events, and he's going
Oh.
to try to join us next week. So just a big shout out to Rick Boyd. We'll hopefully be able to talk with him next week, and may everything go well with your day and everything else.
Yes, yes. And let's see, more people joining. Carol Ann, Roby, Joe is on. Oh, she's on both places. Hi, Joe. She's on my watch list, and she's on the other one
My
too.
gosh, we got so many Seth
Yeah,
friends.
it
Oh
is.
my gosh.
So start with the meditation. I really enjoyed doing this last week. How did you guys feel about it?
I loved
Good.
it.
All right.
Let's wait a little while
A
longer,
little
I
while
think.
longer? Okay.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can see if anybody out there wants to say anything in Facebook land too. But anybody in Facebook land, think about, I'm glad you're watching us, but think about maybe next week you might want to, have your own little box that you can sit in and be with us in your own little box. And if you want that, just send us a Facebook note or info@thesethhouse.com so that we can get all this information, the passwords and stuff to you before. Because by the time we start like this, if somebody wants to get on who, we go like, poor Kate.
It is. It's hard to do it in the middle of the transmission. So if we can get it done in like about an hour beforehand, or or a week beforehand, that's fine too.
Yeah.
And
So
I do send the email out to everybody, but everybody that is getting the email, it's the same email. We're just resending it time and time again. If I need to change it, I will let people know. But
yeah.
for now, it's just really a reminder, but nothing is changing.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, same click to get in.
Yep.
So any email you got before is going to have the same link and the same directions, turn left at the stop sign, stuff like that.
Hi, Charlie. He's saying hi to us.
Hi, Charlie, from Facebook land.
Yep.
So
I have a question.
Yes.
Do any of the Facebook people out there do the meditation with us?
Oh, good question.
well,
And how was it for them?
So for all you Facebookers out there, did you do the meditation last week? And how was it for you?
and we want to make this an always and forever part of this, that, once we start getting all
Good
together.
start.
Yeah, to always have some
Good
kind of
start.
meditation to start off, just to get us in the right energy.
Charlie gave us a big smile, so he did it and he liked it.
Yeah, because it's the Seth show, so we have to all about Seth.
I really liked starting that way. It left a definite residue when it was finished. It left a calm and a closeness that I hadn't experienced before. And I thought I had experienced a whole lot of closeness,
Okay,
But
well,
this
Judy,
was a different depth.
yes.
Yeah.
So Judy just said yes,
you.
she liked it. And Gabriel said yes, it was great.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So we're getting good feedback about it. Thank you for asking.
This is going to be a major part of every one of these shows we do, is starting off with. And if any of you have recommendations of what Seth quote, it's funny, you can read a paragraph of Seth, and it is a meditation.
That's it.
So if any of you have a recommendation or preference of any quote you want us to quote or passage or guided meditation from Seth that you want us to read, we'll do it. Or if any of you want to do it, we'll be happy to hand the mic over to you to lead us in a Sethi
Another
meditation.
time. I'd love to do it another time.
All right.
Further on. I used to teach it, and so yeah, I would love it.
Joe said the meditation last week was wonderful. So
Yeah.
I love hearing the feedback. And Joe would love to join with us, but the password has a letter in it that she can't use. So she can't. So
different countries have different letters.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I may change it for next week. I'll play with that and see what I can do.
She's French, isn't it? Or no?
She's from
Dutch?
Belgium, I think.
Belgium,
right?
that's right.
Belgium.
I'm sorry.
Oh yes. Okay.
I
It
think
may be
so.
something with an agu accent or something over. Yeah.
Sorry, the secret password. She stopped me before I gave the secret password.
What can I say?
I need.
She needs a babysitter.
I was so
pacifier.
A pacifier. It's
A
like
binky.
a
I need to buy her a binky.
A binky.
Oh, Shara, put your binky in. Don't give out the password.
A binky.
Jeff Bird is on Facebook.
Oh, and we Jeff Kiefer wanted to join us.
Yes, I sent Jeff an invite. So, we send invites out to some between 10 and 15 people, and they join when they can, and people may pop in or out. People have lives, unlike Bino Shar, that are here all the time.
They also have to look at their emails to know it.
Well, yeah, they do. They do. Yes. True.
Touche.
But because this is an every Sunday event, they should just know to sign in with us.
Yeah. And that we're going to keep it the same.
Absolutely.
Same way to get in.
Yep.
And like we say, more the merrier. And other people out there would like to join the conversation.
She's from Holland.
Holland.
Joe's in Holland.
So I was right with Amsterdam, but no, I was wrong. Okay.
That's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We ready?
I found
your crystals, Mickey.
Oh, thank you. For my baby.
Very
Especially
nice.
this one. Oh.
Wow, nice.
All
I
right.
love that one.
Marty! All right. Our very special good friend Martin has joined us.
Martin Mulford.
Hello.
Hey, Martin, we're so glad you're here.
Wait, he's not connected to audio yet.
He's getting there. He's getting there.
Should we call him up? Do you need to walk him
No,
through?
it's connected.
There he is.
He's connecting.
We love Martin Mulford. Can you hear us? There he is.
Oh, Joe needs all numbers. Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do all numbers. All right, Joe, I promise I will send out a new one, add you to the list, and I will make the new password something that has all numbers. So you can join us next week.
So everybody be watching because we're going to have a new password next week so we can really get international again here.
Yes.
We are international. We've always been international. Every one of these.
Everyone,
yeah. So we'll get Joe on next time.
I took what I could remember of what you did for the meditation, and I did it before reading my Seth stuff this time. Like I read bits from different books. So I started doing that just before reading him, and it helps.
Nice.
It helps your ability to take in what's being said.
Looks like Martin is in full face and looking pretty.
There he is.
Martin,
there it is.
We have to unmute you.
Yeah.
Ask to unmute. Come on.
Unmute Martin. He's on. Martin, there you are. Let's hear your pretty voice.
Hi, this is Martin. Good to see you.
On.
Good.
Did you have an easy time doing it?
It was easy. It just was lots of hoops to jump through.
Okay.
Normal. Not bad.
Okay. Glad to hear it's easy. And you're doing it from a phone, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a telephone. Okay.
Yeah, he's using a cell phone.
Yeah.
You can tell people that are on the
I
phone.
could get my
because-
tablet up.
Oops, what?
Yeah, I didn't want to add.
Oh,
Yeah.
say that again.
I didn't want to add an extra step by bringing my tablet in, so I
Oh,
figured this is
okay.
easiest. Yeah.
All right.
So Martin's been a longtime Seth reader, and he's a delight to talk with about Seth. And we're so glad to have you on. I hope you show up every time. You've been on our Facebook page, and you've been supporting the Seth House. And he has a beautiful heart. So I'm just so glad we're broadcasting Martin Mulford's face live.
Yeah. I got to keep putting it down. It cuts me off if I lift it up. Yeah, so yeah, that works.
Okay.
Probably just a phone thing.
Maybe, yeah. Or it could be
Yeah.
a bird flying overhead, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we also have Jeff Bird is on. And we're just announcing people as they come on.
And we have Ranny and Rufus and Grace and Gabriel has now joined the watch party. So that's awesome. I'm maybe the watch party is the way to go, you know.
Yeah, it's have watch parties.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. Yeah.
And every time this pops in. So we'll probably proceed pretty soon. What is it? It's only 2:21. If not today, the next time we'll hear from people like Jeff Kiefer. We hope he pops in. Dawn and Peggy. Who were the other ones? Shauna. My gosh, Shauna's usually here.
Oh yeah.
And
Shauna and
Yoli is a new
Yoli
person we want to have
and
on.
Daniela.
And next week we'll have Rick Boyd, quite probably.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
oh, we also invited Ron Card.
did.
As you know, Ron has been recovering from very successful surgery to give him another 100 years of life, at least. And big shout out to Ron.
He's doing great.
Sounds
We
like
love
he's
you,
doing
Ron.
well.
What's
Sounds
that,
like
Nikki?
he's doing well. So from different messages he's put on, he
Yeah.
seems to be doing well. He's
Proud of him.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got the
He's
Ron energy
projecting a
back.
lot of really positive stuff. So yeah, that's
I
great.
love him.
That's great.
He'll be chasing Linda around the table before we know it.
I think you're
Linda
right.
watches this.
While running.
Should we do it?
Yeah, I say let's do it. So I picked out a passage. Now I have to flip my screen now, so I won't be able to see any of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I picked a passage from, yeah, I can't, I need two hands, from Nature of Personal Reality.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
from
yeah.
session 613 on page 20. So if everybody just close, I mean, it's a meditation, but I'm going to read and then do a little meditation at the end. So just close your eyes and just listen. Basically, you create your experience through your beliefs about yourself and the nature of reality. Another way to understand this is to realize that you create your experiences through your expectations. Your feeling tones are your emotional attitudes towards yourself and life in general, and these generally govern the large areas of experience. They give the overall emotional coloration that characterizes what happens to you. You are what happens to you. Your emotional feelings are often transitory, but beneath there are certain qualities of feeling uniquely your own that are like deep music chords. While your day-to-day feelings may rise or fall, these characteristic feeling tones lie beneath. Sometimes they rise to the surface, but in great long rhythms. You cannot call these negative or positive. They are instead tones of your being. They represent the most inner portion of your experience. This does not mean that they are hidden from you or are meant to be. It simply means that they represent the core from which you form your experience. If you have become afraid of emotion, of the expression of feeling, or if you have been taught that the inner self is no more than a repository or uncivilized impulses, then you may have the habit of denying this deep rhythm. You may try to operate as if it did not exist, or even try to refute it, like trying to swim upstream against a strong current. The feeling tone then is the motion and fiber, the timber, the portion of your energy devoted to your physical experience. Now it flows into what you are as a physical being and materializes you in the world of seasons, space, flesh, and time. Its source, however, is quite independent of the world that you know. Once you learn to get the feeling of your own inner tone, then you are aware of its power, strength, and durability, and you can, to some extent, ride with it into deeper realities of experience. Your beliefs can be like fences that surround you. You must first recognize the existence of such barriers. You must see them, or you will not even realize that you are not free, simply because you will not see beyond the fences. Very positively. They will represent the boundaries of your experience. There is one belief, however, that destroys artificial barriers to perception, an expanding belief that automatically pierces false and inhibiting ideas. Now, separately, the self is not limited. That statement is a statement of fact. It exists regardless of your belief or disbelief in it. Following this concept is another. There are no boundaries or separations of the self. Those that you experience are the result of false beliefs. Following this is the idea that I have already mentioned. You make your own reality. To understand yourself and what you are, you can learn to experience yourself directly apart from your beliefs about yourself. Now, what I would like each reader to do is to sit quietly, close your eyes, try to sense within yourself the deep feeling tones that I mentioned earlier. This is not difficult to do. So let's just feel and sense our feeling tones. Now, while feeling these tones, Seth goes on to say, your knowledge of their existence will help you recognize their deep rhythms within you. Each individual will sense these tones in his or her own way. So do not worry about how they should feel. Simply tell yourself that they exist, that they are composed of the great energies of your being made flesh. Then let yourself experience. If you are used to terms like meditation, try to forget the term during this procedure. Do not use any name. Free yourself from concepts and experience the being of yourself and the motion of your own vitality. Do not question, is this right? Am I doing it correctly? Am I feeling what I should feel? This is the book's first exercise for you. You are not to use other people's criteria. There are no standards but your own feelings. No particular time limit is recommended. This should be an enjoyable experience. Accept whatever happens as uniquely your own. This exercise will put you in touch with yourself. It will return you to yourself. Whenever you are nervous or upset, take a few moments to sense this feeling tone within you, and you will find yourself centered in your own being, secure. When you have tried this exercise several times, then feel these deep rhythms go out from you in all directions, as indeed they do. Electromagnetically, they radiate out through your physical being, and in ways that I hope to explain later, they form the environment that you know even as they form your physical image. I told you that the self was not limited, yet surely you think that your self stops where your skin meets space, that you are inside your skin, yet your environment is an extension of yourself. It is the body of your experience, coalesced in physical form. The inner self forms the objects that you know as surely and automatically as it forms your finger or your eye. Your environment is the physical picture of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs made visible. Since your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs move through the space and time, you therefore affect physical conditions separate from you. Consider the spectacular framework of your body just from the physical standpoint. You perceive it as solid, as you perceive all other physical matter, yet the more matter is explored, the more obvious it becomes that within it, energy takes on specific shape in the form of organs, cells, molecules, atoms, electrons, each less physical than the last, each combining a mysterious gestalt to form matter. Now take a moment to just feel those tones. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and out. And then open your eyes and come back to our Seth Talk.
Or we could have another moment of silence to just sit with us.
Sure, as long as people want.
I gotta say that's one of the most beautiful passages from Seth. And stay in the space you're in if you're experiencing something you want to stay with. But I'll just add to this feeling that it's like it brings you totally to yourself to feel your own energy. And once you're there, to feel that tone, that frequency. And like you said, you can just come back to it anytime. And it might sound a little different or feel a little different for everyone, but it's coming home. It's coming back to your soul energy, your connection with higher source. And it says it's also you focused physically. This is one of the most magical meditations from Seth. It's just feel the energy of who you are. And it's always with you. And it'll always bring you right back to center.
Thank you. Trusting.
Does anybody want to share any feelings about that? Or either at home on Facebook or right here, our face friends here on this broadcast. How is that for you going into that place? And I hope, and I'm still feeling it, so we're talking from feeling it possibly. So anybody want to comment?
Well, for me, it's a place of love, and I let it flow out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Audrey.
And that passage was jam-packed with some of Seth's greatest hits.
Yes.
You make your own reality. There's no separation from you and all it is, or however that was. And
That
And
was the
you
part.
are
Yeah.
not limited.
you're not
That your
limited.
skin is not the edge.
Yeah. You
That
do not
was
end when your skin ends. You are, it's a lot more.
reminder. Yeah, your skin's not the edge. That's really important.
Yeah, we're not at all conditioned, the conditioning think I'm in a body. It's like, no, we're so much more beyond the physical.
So our friend Sue on Facebook, she said she's in New Mexico and she's been reading Seth for most of her life, but she's never been able to figure out feeling tones. How do you separate them from just regular feelings?
Mm. Ooh, fun.
I know.
Well, a feeling, if feelings can be like emotion and a feeling, an intuitive feeling, whatever. He's talking about really, it's a real thing. It's a tone, a vibration.
It's
Okay,
a vibration.
I get
Yes.
it. Everybody has to answer that question.
Because
I'll
it's
start,
different
but
for everybody.
yeah. So I'll start for what it's like for me, but everybody who wants to can answer that question. But it's like a, God, I can try to hum it a little bit, but it feels like a frequency going all through me. It's a sweet tone. It's like 1,000 crickets, but adjusting the balance and treble and bass, so it's just a pretty tone. It's like just the perfect tone, but I can feel it. It's a little galactic sounding too, but it's like when I just really, I can hear it, I can feel it, and just it can get louder and more intense the more I pay attention to it. And I think that's part of it. First looking for it, then feeling it, and really hone in on allowing that feeling and that tone, and just hone in, and it gets louder and more pronounced. Okay.
Well, okay. So for me, this was Seth's first exercise that actually opened up a whole world of things for me. I never heard my feeling tone before. We sat during one of our in-house Seth Talks, and I could actually hear it.
You mean our Seth group?
Seth group, yeah.
Yeah, our
we
book
had
study
our
group.
book study group and this is years ago. And to me, it is a constant tone, but it's more kind of metallic sounding for me. I almost want to say, so Oshar had the pretty crickets. Mine were like a lot of locusts. So it was that kind of sound. And sometimes it gets so loud that it is like that, sound you have under the trees in August with thousands of them just in your head. And that's what it sounds like to me. And as I do my normal day, I don't hear it until I listen for it, and it's there, and it's always there anymore. So, and if I'm in a state of agitation, I can't hear it. So that when I then concentrate on hearing that tone and feeling it, that then takes that agitation and really calms me down. So I understand where the feeling tone piece comes together, because it can change my feeling by hearing it. It brings me into a place of peace.
For me, it's kind of like a rhythmic beating of the heart. I always go back to that place, and if I need to, just comforts me. Yeah.
Bob, Mickey, Martin, anything you can share about how it feels for you?
I don't know if I've ever listened to, for that tone. I know I constantly listen to music as I work. and most of it's music, not songs. Movie scores and classical and stuff like that. And I know I respond differently to different kinds of music. And I don't know if this has ever happened to anybody, and something many years ago that I first experienced when I was in an enclosed shower, like a one with glass doors where you're totally enclosed. And one time I was taking a shower and I just was noticing like an echo effect, like when you start just humming, I would just like hum a note and it would reverberate. And I discovered that if I started low and very slowly went from a low tone or note to a higher note, it would always reach a certain point where all of a sudden I wouldn't change the volume of my voice, but it became a reverberation where the sound within the shower increased 2 to 3 fold, where it suddenly became very loud, almost like you hit a certain note tone that reverberated through the shower, through the air or whatever. And it was, first time it happened, it really freaked me out. And so I don't have many opportunities to take showers in one of those types of showers, but the few times in my life that I did, it would always work. It always seemed to hit at a certain note. So I often wondered if that had something to do with like my note tone within me, if that was my note, because whenever I reached it, it would just suddenly envelop me with so much more volume of that sound. It was always surprising. It was just weird the way it worked.
Your own resonance, maybe.
It was like a resonance or something very odd. Yeah, you just start humming low and raise the hum, and all of a sudden it would hit a certain note, and all of a sudden, like an explosion of sound. It was like very stark. That's weird.
I like that. I think it sounds like you hit some kind of resonance within yourself.
Yeah, I could never really scientifically explain it
The
because
space that you were in, you
yeah,
hit something resonant with that space.
yeah, and it might happen in a phone booth too, similar kind of environment where
Yeah.
it's totally enclosed, and yeah, very, very weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, something for everybody to try. Let me know. next time you're in a phone booth or a enclosed space.
There are not many of them nowadays, are there?
No.
Phone
No.
booth. Ooh.
But yeah, that allows you to feel a reverberation, a frequency coming back at you, and that can kind of, again, bringing you back to your body, your mind, your spirit, where you are. And I like that. Just as you're describing that too, this is so helpful that we're all talking about this, because as I'm listening to other people describe their feeling, it's like I'm getting into that kind of group.
Well, funny, but Sue that asked the question, she said, I never thought I'd be able to hear it. It sounds like it's a sound that you hear in your inner self, plus a feeling with it, a feeling and a sound all in one. I often hear a rhythm in my head. Maybe that's part of it. And maybe exactly right, Sue.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well said, because
Yes.
that's the thing. We got to just keep drawing our attention back to ourselves and witness what's really there. It's not dead quiet. I mean, it's bringing your attention back to yourself. It's exactly what you were saying. Like, there's a tone, there's a sound, there's a feeling, there's a frequency. And I'll add to this that I've heard, well, there's a out-of-body guy called William Buhlman, and he has done many surveys of thousands upon thousands of people who've had out-of-body experiences. And part of what they experience is a tone that kind of starts to accelerate and get louder. And I think that if we can bring ourselves to the threshold of who we are, where this energy frequency is, this feeling, this tone, and sit with it, and maybe start to learn to accelerate it a little bit or allow it to enlarge or expand naturally, this can be a doorway for opening up to new cosmic experiences, like out-of-body experiences, like it may be intuitive things, but find out for yourself. Just really make a meditation, if you will, out of your feeling tone, the sound of your own being. Not just because it really helps you calm down, but it's like reintroducing yourself to the frequency of your own soul, who you are, and who knows where it can take you. Can other share some more thoughts about this? Because this really, I think, is very important, because Seth started on this right towards the beginning of Nature of Personal Reality, so he must have thought it was important.
There's a tone that I hear, a sound, a frequency, like a hum, like you were saying, Kate.
Yeah.
There's this hum, and I hear it when I get into bed at night and I'm laying there getting ready to go to sleep. Sometimes it is so loud that I've actually sat up and looked around, like, where is that coming from? And I listen, and there's nothing else in the room humming. And then I realize slowly that it's in my head. And I try then to match it by singing with it, humming to it. And I find that matching it causes me to have a certain sensation of resonance inside that's quite profound. And it helps me a lot because I have a lot of insomnia. And I find that times when I'm willing to take the time to do that, to really focus on that resonance. And the next thing I know, it's morning, and I probably had beautiful dreams or whatever, but it does something for me. It takes me somewhere. And I find that meditations like the one that you're bringing up from Seth's books are things that I had completely forgotten about. It's been years since I read Nature of Personal Reality. And it was one of my favorites because it does have so much personal advice in it. It's a very hands-on manual about how to turn up everything that Seth is talking about. And I was so grateful for that when I read it. It really tells you, do this, and when you get good at it, then try this, and then don't forget you can also do this with it and see where it takes you. It's all about trusting yourself. I mean, he's kind of teaching us to trust that where our soul wants to take us is okay. We keep telling allowing everybody else to tell us what's okay. The TV wants to tell you it's okay to use this toothpaste, but don't you dare be stupid enough to use that one. And, drink this coffee, but that one's horrible for you. And then the expert comes on and he tells you what he thinks. But it's about finding what is okay for you, from you, you know. And I love it. There's so much more advice in that Nature of Personal Reality. And then when I got to the unknown reality, and he's talking about, well, now this is the part you don't know, because this is about over here where I am. And it helped clear up so much because he had told us so much about the inside of where we're at. And then he's telling us about another view of it all from where he's looking from. And I was fascinated, but the hum, especially when you were talking earlier, Kate, you actually hummed. I thought, that's it. That's just what I do. That's what I've been going through. I'm so glad, because I've often wanted to ask someone, do you ever hear a humming noise when you're trying to? And I thought, they're going to lock me up for sure and say, you're a nut. We knew you were a nut. But it was reassuring to hear someone else talk about the hum, and the feeling from it, So I loved it. I really loved it. Yeah.
We can hear from you too, Martin, if you'd like.
Oh yeah. Well, I got all kinds of impressions when I did that. Definitely a sound, kind of a deep sound, like a woodwind instrument,
Ooh.
oboe maybe.
Mm.
Yeah. Not really vibrating. Well, maybe vibration, but not. Yeah, kind of a steady tone. Kind of a color with it too. Not really a dark color, but orange maybe.
Ooh.
Darker orange. Yeah. And like I was reaching out with arms, but I had more than two arms. I don't know if that makes
Wow.
any sense. Didn't have any
Really?
didn't have any particular shape. It was like I was embracing. Yeah, that's kind of the tone was one of embracing. Yeah, pondering, embracing. Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, very much like that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Fabulous colors with it.
I know colors.
Extra
Yeah.
credit for colors,
Yeah.
Martin.
Absolutely. Now, I want to read. There's been two people that have posted on Facebook. So, Carol Ann Richards said when she was young, she had to focus to name what she was feeling since she was taught through many caregivers to be attuned to their frequency. So, she could only do those actions that would keep her safe from their punishing words and actions. My own feelings were stuffed. So now I will meditate on recognizing my own frequencies and tone. Oh, I'm so glad that that could help. And then Judy Snyder said, even though you said emotional tone, I didn't seek an actual sound or tone, but there have been times that I feel I hear tone sound of the universe. I will try to meditate at another time to see if what I am hearing is actually my tone or frequency. This is so interesting. So this is new to many people to sit and listen to their own bodies, but each organ resonates at a different frequency. And
Yeah.
I think what we're hearing is the culmination of all of that. So it is a symphony, so to speak.
The symphony of you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And also is getting, though, I kind of like the idea of it's a duet with the universe. It
Yeah.
is like how this me and the universe meet in a harmonic tone together, like a harmonious frequency, and singing along with it. I'd never thought of that, trying to imitate it and sing along with it. But this is why these talks are so good. I'm learning so much. I knew my own story about what I thought it meant, but now I'm hearing and reading all these other experiences with that one
small exercise.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the book.
Making a chord with the universe.
Yes.
With your tone and its tone and so forth. Yeah. Creating a chord. Oh, no pun intended.
And just really sitting with it for a while. Like, what could be, that sounds like a great meditation to me. Just being in the frequency of the universal and the individual. Your own true tone. Just sitting with that and allowing it to take you there.
Bob, yours. I would try it in a car.
What?
Try it. Well, he does it in the shower.
Oh, Bob Terry.
Bob. Try it in a car.
Because Bob likes having these beautiful music scores around him. But, probably the most beautiful music score we all have is ourselves, our own inner tone.
I don't know if it would work in a car. I think it has to be like a rectangular box, like the enclosed showers.
Yeah.
That could be a belief.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Take it with you wherever you go. Sitting, wherever you're sitting right now, that's the place that it is with you wherever you are, indoors or out.
That is the truth. And once I found it, I've never lost it since then, but I didn't even know it was lost in the beginning. So thank you, Seth, for bringing it to my attention.
I'll throw this out there. Does anyone have any, like, fresh, new, yummy Seth insights to share, like over the last week or any time that, you know, you kind of had some Seth ahas that you feel comfortable sharing with us, like realizations on a personal level about life, everything, and you.
There's definitely a presence, like, you know, not even really just thinking about Seth, but I often catch myself realizing that Seth is there.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like always there. Yeah, yeah.
You know, I get that too, and we've talked about that a little, Martin. That, you know, we have the ability to tune our focus and our attention in so many different directions. And Seth put the invitation out to us. I mean, if I had Seth Speaks with me, I'd read in the introduction. You know, he, you know, tune in to where I am and who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm just following instructions when I try to put my focus on the Seth energy. And it's a good feeling. And I'm not trying to make it do any like magic tricks for me or whatever. There's this huge, I don't know why it just keeps repeating over and over with some people. Don't try to channel Seth. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. So many people are like terrified someone's going to channel Seth again. And I'm like, calm down. There's other things to be afraid of, but then again, there's nothing to be afraid of. So, so the whole idea, though, of just having a kinship with Seth, of just feeling a peacefulness even around the word. Like, you know, I think Seth, and I feel good. And, and nobody needs to jump me for like, I feel a good energy when I think and feel about Seth. I don't think Seth would like smite me for doing that, but I'm with you, Martin, on that. Just to be with, you know, I love Seth. And maybe I'm feeling a lot of my love. Well, good. And I feel like Seth loves us, or he wouldn't have gone to all the hardship trying to write these books.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But what does it feel like for you? Go on with that part, because it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Well, yeah, very pleasant being. He is very pleasant. Yeah, I don't really so much picture his picture, but I do feel that picture, you know, the one that Robert painted.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very Buddha-like to me. And yeah, I feel it that way.
That's a nice representation behind you, by the way. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, I do have that.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got that about 20 years ago, and it's gone with me everywhere I've gone.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I've hung it in various places, but it just feels best over my bed for some reason.
Oh, yes. Do you have your bed pointing north?
No, I do not. And I know that that's a consideration, and I've always thought of that every time I move and set up my place, but for some reason my bed never aligns north. Just never has. And I've looked at how can I arrange my room differently so that it would, but it just doesn't fit any other way.
We have a new friend here. Jeffrey Kiefer just joined us from California. Hey, Jeff, how do we unmute you?
Oh, here.
Kate's going to do that.
Here. And while we're doing, oh, there, he did it himself.
I'm sorry, I thought it was 5 o'clock your time.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock, but we love having you. You're here. You're on perfect time.
And I just want to say, Carol, before she goes to sleep, she asked to join Seth's sessions during her sleeping hours. And she's had some very vivid dreams that have amused her since starting. So that's another way that we can use the Seth energy, calling Seth in as we sleep, and ask that we remember our beautiful, vivid dreams. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, deliberately attuning our energy, finding our feeling tone, aligning our energy with higher energy frequencies like Seth or whatever you feel a kinship with. And there's no commitment. It's like, just, oh gosh, I attuned myself to this and this, and I don't know. Anyway, just be kind of playful about it, but appreciate how wonderful these feelings are, to attune ourselves to higher energy frequencies. Okay, I got my wonderful feeling tone. Now let me think about merging my feeling tone with something that conjures up an even higher accelerated frequency for me. So just start playing with that. And I love the idea that you shared with that about before you go to sleep. Yes. So you just go right into a wonderful high flying place to begin with in your sleep state. Yeah.
Hey, Martin, when you were talking about picking up that feeling of Sethiness,
yeah,
that you were picking up, it made me think about how many people, when they're talking about religion, speak of a Christ consciousness, and yet they're not saying specifically that they are aware of Christ being in front of them. I feel similarly about Sethian energy. It's a state of mind. There's something that you are gradually taught to resonate with. It's something you learn to find this place where you can understand what is being said in the context. So I often like to be in a Sethian way of thinking, Seth think. And and on that score, I wanted to ask Kate and Oshara, have you checked out that thing that Ron posted about the surgeon that came and sat on his bed and what that was all about? You haven't seen that yet.
I didn't see that, no.
Okay,
well, I haven't checked the Facebook page. Shame on.
Well, you go and look at it, and there's this part on there where he's talking about how this doctor, he was concerned, of course, before his surgery or whatever, and at one point, just before time to start the surgery, and they come in and talk to you, have any concerns or blah, blah, blah. And the guy came and sat down on the bed and he said, I've just got to take a picture of this. And he took it. It looks like the painting of Seth by Rob.
Does, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
His doctor looked like the painting of Seth?
It is an absolute likeness.
Yeah.
Totally.
Where is this? I'm sorry, where is this at? I joined late.
It's on the Seth House Facebook page where Ron is talking about his experiences before the surgery, and what a quote coincidence it was that the doctor looked exactly like Seth. And you can't tell me that there wasn't some kind of hidden meaning behind how that all happened. Just a little reminder in the universe that somebody's kind of looking out for you. It is strange because it's a photograph. You can see it.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing you see. You can't miss it. It blows your mind. If it doesn't blow your mind, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
But it's just a wonderful way of being in a certain frequency, being in a certain plane where you learn. It gets easier and easier to go to this plane of thinking and understanding and connecting with what is being said about this place we're in, And so I like it.
I like how we're shaping the idea here but many people know what it's like to attune to, as you said, the Christ consciousness or the Buddha consciousness, to sit in a Buddha field.
Right.
And these are real things, and people participate. And in the history of humanity and other cultures, there have been many gods, or what you want to call them, or that people have attuned their energy field to because it felt compatible and it was uplifting them.
You learn to find the frequency and tune into it. You learn, it gets easier and easier because you're so familiar with where that frequency is, and it just gets easy. It's like someone, I think it was again Martin, who mentioned that when you say Seth's name, it just makes you feel good. There's something that comes from what you know that this thing is about. So it becomes a mnemonic. Just the name itself becomes a mnemonic. At least it works that way for my twisted mind.
Oh, it's very good.
And to be choose who we want to align our energies with. Like you said, when I am in that Seth space, you know, you're reading, you really, wow, that's amazing. Set the book down for a moment and just contemplate it. Notice that you're conjuring a Seth space. You're connecting with the author. You know,
Right,
when
right.
you are reading, you're connecting with the mind of the author. And if you really tune into that Seth energy, like I said, there have been many gods and spiritual paths and many other things that people have, and it works.
Yeah,
It is,
yeah.
people who do it know that it's real. And that's why we want to go back to these. So for me, with you guys, whoever wants to identify it too, is I like being in the Seth space
I
and
do.
connecting with the Seth energy. And it's wonderful, and I recommend it to everyone.
Well, I also think that it happens whether we are aware of it or not. I mean, like thoughts attract like thoughts, whether we believe it or not, they still it happens. But once you start focusing in on the way things really are, you start seeing some of the mechanisms behind everything. I
Hmm.
call it the kind of being in an in-between place. So when we can focus in on the Seth energies and become part of it and a willing participant, but if we don't, it's still going to go on anyway. We just won't recognize it.
Hmm.
If that makes any sense at all.
Yes,
It'll go on anyway, whether we like it or not.
I like it. It's always
Yeah.
happening. May as well pay attention so you can really enjoy it and go deeper with it too.
Yeah,
Yeah, universal
Right.
laws are universal laws. They're going on whether we want to participate in them or not. We really
exactly.
don't have a choice.
That's
And
so
like
true.
Seth says, you get what you focus on. So focus on Seth, or focus
Yeah,
on whatever field frequency you want to be. You're the one who
Yeah.
controls your energy field. You get what you focus on. Make make yourself taste good. Feel
And I found interacting with all the Sethis in the past that the subjects that are involved in Seth are just vast. So many people are involved in so many different things. There's not like one path and one way. It's like, just climb in wherever you feel comfortable. It's vast. It's everything, I guess.
I agree. Yeah. I'm finding
I know a lot
correlations with the,
A lot of people are involved in the dream state. A lot of people are involved in astral projections. A lot of people are involved in the physics end of it. A lot of people are involved in the time element of it and the interdimensionalness of it, or the multidimensionalness of it. It's just such a vast arena that the avenues that you can find that will interest you are just limitless.
yeah. Amen, brother.
yeah, the longer you pursue it, the more routes you find that all lead back to it. Yeah, especially in science.
Subatomic physics is coming closer and closer to finding out about the nothingness or
Hmm.
the interconnectedness of everything.
Yeah. I watched a video about that today. Um, Nassim Haramein was talking about that exact thing, and every word he said made me think about Seth and what Seth has been telling them. They're kind of catching up. They're
They
beginning
are.
to catch up.
I'm hoping one day they'll find units of consciousness that we all know exist. They just haven't stumbled upon them yet.
Yes, I agree. I thought about that today because there were some very, very quantum, very tiny things that he was mentioning in his talk, and it has to do with the new things they're finding out about black holes and about what's the thing that Star Trek uses to zip through?
Warp.
Not not just the black holes. They go through something else.
Stargate.
What?
No, it's something natural that connects from one place to another.
Wormhole?
Wormholes.
Wormhole. That's it. Now, they're all excited now in the quantum world about all this new stuff they discovered about the wormholes and the correlation between wormholes and black holes. Okay, and the connectedness. I think he called it, no, what was the word? But it means interconnected, entanglement.
Entanglement.
Entanglement. And I just sat there with my mouth open because I've heard these things discussed years ago, but now that they're speaking of it not as theoretically, and they're actually finding bits about it, more and more scientific information about the actual nature. And I thought, units of consciousness will be next.
You know, Seth always said that in our space exploration, we will never be able to go anywhere if we keep going around space. We need to learn how to go through it.
We have to go through it. Yes. And that's what they're talking about. Going side by side instead of trying to go through distances. Being able to just create the vibration of where it is you want to be, you know, and letting that manifest. Gee, where we heard that word before. It's just amazing watching it happen. You know, I'd say I've been watching this kind of discussion for at least 10 years. And now they're actually just, the foremost physics experts are now discussing it in real time with a straight face.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I'm also hearing them just discuss the simultaneousness of time.
Exactly.
Lately,
Exactly.
which I find is extraordinary.
Yes. Yes.
That's the kind of thing that I'm interested in my Seth walk. That's kind of my slant.
Yes, me too.
Subatomic physics and time.
Me
A
too.
lot of my friends are into the
right.
dream stuff. Yeah.
No, mine is the physics. Oh yeah, yeah. The quantum physics and all of that about the entanglement and and what's really going on. And he even made a reference today between he compared the fact of looking at things on a wide spectrum of the big black holes that the astronomers speak of being the exact same thing as the very, very minute atomic black holes that you find when you use an atomic microscope and look down on the atomic level, that they're finding the same structures. So we're just seeing things on a basis of graduated manifestation. The same laws that created what we're looking at are reiterated or mirrored. The further down you go, you see the same things over and over and over. And someone once that I was studying, I don't remember who, had said that that's okay, because I was surprised by it. And he said, well, don't worry, you will never go far enough down that you stop discovering new systems. And I was intrigued by the fact that an electron microscope could take you so far beyond just the atomic level now. I mean, when I was in school, the definition of an atom was that it was the smallest unit in existence. Well, that's a joke now, isn't it? That's hilarious. But this person, this scientist had said to me, you will never go down so far that you're not still discovering new levels of minutia. So that's intriguing.
Seth says that the smallest unit of measure is a unit of consciousness. So I guess it might stop there. and they pulse on.
But how
they
far
pulse.
from that are we?
And what does it look like?
I think they have to believe it before they see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Seth says that a unit of consciousness, which makes up everything, pulsates. It pulsates. And
Yes.
it's when it's pulsating on, it's in our dimension, and when it's off, it's pulsating on in another
In
dimension.
another. Yes. Yes.
So
Blinking off and on.
our book in this dimension might be a shadow in another dimension, or a sound in another dimension. That's all quite fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me too. Yes. I agree. Because you have water at one temperature, you have ice at another temperature, and you have steam at a different temperature. And yet we're still talking about the same thing manifesting in three distinctly different ways in just this realm. So with the billions and billions of other possible realms, how strange can it get? How many different ways can a thing manifest? you know, and how much can we find out about it? But I'm sure, just like
we're only limited. We're only We're only limited to our own capabilities of understanding.
Exactly, exactly. And look what Safism has done for our capability of understanding. you know, Once Jane came along and started talking all this stuff, people sat back and said, "What? What? Say that again?" And we all took off like rockets.
And Jane didn't really understand it either.
Yeah, we
She
were
was
all learning
just like us,
together.
trying to learn it with us. Yeah.
I think that's what made it so easy to accept, was that she was one of us. It wasn't some sitting up
Right.
on a mountaintop guru trying to tell us, well, you don't know this yet, but I am privy to so and so and so. And maybe if you kiss my palm just the right way, I'll tell you. It was Jane and Rob, and they were a lovable couple that everybody could relate to.
Mhm.
And I think that's part of the wonder of how easily people can accept what is being said. She talked about what she doubted. Rob talked about wishing that she could see this or this or this in a different way. And so we could watch them working together with the information and finding ways to bring it in. That helped me anyway, because I felt, okay, I wasn't so stupid. Somebody else is having trouble too. Is that unkind? But it was wonderful stuff. I mean, it's for us. It was an idea whose time had come. This was for us, people. And it's nice to see how many millions more people are finding it all over the world. It's just up and going now, isn't it?
All right.
And it took me 40 years of due diligence to feel like I get it. I feel like I don't want to be overstepping what I'm saying, but I think I'm beginning to understand. It feels like a comfortable world
Yeah,
that I'm living in. And there've been
yeah.
like many Seth waves of reading, and I think it's like the last 10 years have been a great wave, but it's been just, it's like the next, in these last 10 years, a deeper layer of understanding. The first layer was just get a self-esteem, feel better about myself, stop having crazy thoughts that hurt me. And then there were other waves of rereading and other waves. And this last wave of picking up, the first things my mind had to pick up was what I just said, the self-esteem stuff. And now it's like getting all the big stuff these last 10 years.
All the big stuff.
The big, yeah. And I guess the next wave will be even bigger, but it's like reading it all over again. What's flying at me is the stuff you guys are talking about. And, and feeling timelessness, feeling parallel realities, feeling the connections with other realities, other beings. I mean, really deep experiential. Yeah, first wave I think is essential is healing yourself.
Yes.
Next wave is absolute freedom of beginning to understand and living that way.
Well, I
And,
understood it immediately.
yeah.
Absolutely immediately. It was very instantaneous. It took about 46 years.
I love that. That's great.
You know, it's strange.
But
It's strange you
all
should say
time is
that.
happening now.
Right. I just ran across a photograph of me when in a place where I used to work when I was reading my first Seth book. It was summer of
Oh,
1987. And I'm
oh,
thinking how much has changed and how much I've learned since then. Because I read each Seth book one right after the another.
me too. Yeah.
Uh, I just
Well,
couldn't get enough.
I had to wait for them to be published each time.
Uh,
You know, when you finish one and then you're waiting for her to please hurry up and put out the next one. That was
I
the
had to
only
look in the
delay.
back of the book to see which ones were out and how many of them
Oh,
there were.
oh,
Yeah, no, I remember it
yeah,
well.
yeah. Oh gosh. Mm.
But the
The
joy,
days before the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
and the joy of what you were saying, comparing it like science saying they're not going to come to an end of it. And Seth saying as well, we're not going to come to an end of that exploration. Seth says even for him, there are worlds he hasn't explored.
It's still
Reality
being
isn't over.
created.
He's still as in the position Seth is in. He is still new discoveries every day.
Yes, it's still all being created as we speak.
And this is all assured for us as well too. This beautiful process of growing in this wisdom continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're growing in the wisdom, and the wisdom is growing on its own.
Oh, with
There's
us.
more.
Oh, and it's finding a home within us to flourish.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Carol Ann on Facebook, she said she's been focusing on realizing her connection with all that is. Synchronization is her proof of the connection, and those
Ah,
all amuse her.
very nice. And who was
Mm.
this?
Carol Ann Richards.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, Carol.
Very nice. Ooh, yeah.
Martin, I want to. You've got this Buddha face on your face as well as behind you. What kind of things are going
Oh,
through your mind? What kind of things are going through your mind as we're talking about some of this?
oh. Well, a lot of it's just like one said as synchronicity. It's a lot of the same impressions and thoughts that I've been having or
Oh,
having right now. Everybody seems to be speaking. I don't need to say much because it's being said. Yeah, yeah.
But we want to put you to work
I
anyway.
mean, yeah, I know. That's kind of how I am. I like to listen a lot. But yeah, I can talk. Yeah, I just have to think about what I'm thinking about. Um, well, one thing that was like a brief fleeting, maybe it's kind of more out there, but I'm wondering what, from a Seth perspective, have you heard of the Comet Atlas? Anybody?
No.
Comet?
It's yeah, as a new comet, they just, well, actually, it's not so much new. It's new in our area, but they've known it was coming for quite a while.
the
Been
one
talking.
about.
I first heard a scientist talking. Yeah, it's called the Comet Atlas, and it's actually
I've
near
heard of
Mars right now.
Neowise. I've heard of Neowise or something
Yeah,
like that.
this is a different one.
Okay, I've not
They're
heard of
having a
this
lot
one.
of comet visitors.
Yes.
Yeah. So what kind of reality? And they say it's like half the size of the sun.
Wow.
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 Yeah, that's huge.
Yes, that is.
Oh,
Yeah. And I
gee
looked at a
whiz.
picture of it, and it looks like a giant angel with a halo over its head. It really
Mm,
does.
mm.
And now is that going to come near the
It's
Earth?
like it's going to come near us. Yeah. Somebody was saying that it could be almost look as big as the moon.
Really?
Wow.
Wow. I can't wait.
And when is this
But
anticipated?
yeah,
Huh?
When?
Yeah,
yeah.
when?
September,
Oh,
I believe, unless I read it wrong.
goodness.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering what that represents conscious wise. I mean, what is that part of? Because, there's this history of comets being related to events on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the historical way of interpreting them. What
Mm-hmm.
might this mean for us?
Or why
Yeah.
did we create it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm not experiencing it at all as a negative thing. A lot of my friends are talking really frightened about it. Like, what's it going to do? And I'm thinking, well, let's let it do what it does. I want to see. I'm not worried about it. Not scared. It's just kind of fascinating.
I just
Yeah.
I have to jump in now because we have a new honored guest that just popped
Yeah.
in, and many of you already know her, Helen Stewart. She's joining us from Hawaii, where it's an ungodly early hour in the morning. So, Helen, are you still? We're gonna unmute.
Well, she has to unmute herself.
We saw a quick
There we
flash
go.
over
There she is.
Let's see your
Hi.
pretty. Helen,
Can you see?
We
Yeah.
see you, but we can hear you.
You can't see.
No,
No.
it's
Yeah.
there's a picture of you.
It flashed for a
Oh, I
moment.
know why.
There
she
you are.
is.
Hi,
Helen,
Helen.
whee!
Hello,
Hi.
Helen.
So glad
Welcome
you
back.
join us.
Good
Welcome.
to see you. I can't stay. I'm just dropping in for a quick sec
Oh,
to
so
say
glad.
hi. Glad
Hi.
you're there and talking. So just keep talking.
Oh, it's nice to see you again.
You
Oh,
too.
we
You
conjured
too.
you up. We've talked about how much we wanted to see you again. And Shauna too. Yes.
Oh, great. Well,
Yeah.
it's great to see you all. I'm glad you're still meeting. You're meeting every week still, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Stronger.
So
That's great.
we look forward to being able to have you for a while soon.
We'll work something out one of these days.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm the great unprepared on watch today. So
No, but it was so
So-
nice to hear your wisdom before. That was lovely.
oh well, thanks.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the sun or something. I heard a piece of a conversation while I was
Comet.
jumping all over the place.
The new comet.
But we were talking
Oh,
about
okay.
a lot of stuff. There's supposed to be a comet coming through next month, but there was a lot of things we were talking about. We opened up with Seth from Nature of Personal Reality, your feeling tone, and those, you make your own reality, and listening to your feeling tone, and just going into other things like things in science, catching up with Seth. What else were
Oh,
we
yeah.
talking about, guys?
Resonance.
Oh, yeah.
Like
There's
when
a
we
lot of that going on in all directions, but
Yes.
it's certainly present, and I think there are as many varieties of that there are as many communities of resonance
Yes. Oh, what a
and
wonderful
probable
phrase.
resonances going
like
out there.
Communities of
term,
resonance.
communities of
Yeah.
resonance.
We're going
Yeah.
to coin that. We'll quote you.
Just made it up.
No, but it's a beautiful way of putting it.
Well, because there's so much hope as well as disturbance and anxiety, and we have to remember those communities of resonance that are pulling in a different set of probabilities, and I just try to flap my little butterfly's wings and stay there instead of being pulled over into all this other stuff. So yeah.
Oh, that's
Anyway.
wonderful. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Seth speaks of families of consciousness,
Mhm.
and consciousness is resonating energy, isn't it? So
Right.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was cluster incarnations and
Yes.
sort of how we find each other again in various forms. And I'm noticing that a lot. These little
Me too.
varied and very different, sometimes not even overlapping networks of cluster consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
not so much, not necessarily the same family, but like a team. Not everybody has to be in the same family,
Yeah.
but some kind of collaborative effort that makes things work. So anyway,
I wonder if
it's
it
good to
has
see you.
anything to do with reaching a certain age, because I find I'm much more aware of all that at this stage of my life. I mean, and especially when I passed over the 70 mark.
Yeah.
And my goodness, the stuff that's coming through. And it's often things I was exposed to before, but I wasn't ready, I guess. And so I didn't resonate with it. It went right over my head. And
Right.
yet now these things are much more meaningful. These families of consciousness, like you're mentioning, that really makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I really like what you said about family of consciousness, but you can have different families on the same team. So if you're on
Exactly.
Yeah.
Team Helen, the Team Helen, you assembled your team together before you came here, and it might have been from a wide variety of families of consciousness. I really like that.
Exactly.
I really, really like that.
Yeah. I
See,
think
I
we put a
told you
lot
we
of
missed you.
yeah, because I know there's this kind of sub rosa notion that we're all Samari or we're all Samathi, and there's this sort of unspoken caste system of families of consciousness. And I think we need to just stay away from all that stuff, just like any kind of corporate team or university team or any kind of family cluster. Everybody, in fact, it makes a poorer team if everybody's the same. So I'm kind of looking for that range and that playing off each other's. The connection is singular, but the talents are so varied, and the focus of each is so varied.
It's nice to have diversity, but not hierarchy so much. You know what I mean? We love to make hierarchies. It's all about who's on the capstone versus the base. But then the capstone couldn't be there without the base, could it?
Exactly. Well, yeah. And for Seth, it's in constant flux.
It is.
Up 1 nanosecond is down minus 10 to the 44 the next second. So it's like, who cares?
Gets back into, to me, that is an explanation of exactly the movement inside the toroid, the torus figure. It's swirling in such a way that the thing is either on top or it's at the bottom, but it's still exactly as existent and resonant as it is at any moment.
The more the deeper I get into the Seth material, the more I'm discovering, or I'm starting to believe. My ego doesn't want me to believe it, but I'm starting to believe that we're all cluster personalities. We're not a singular.
Oh, yes.
And ego doesn't like that because it wants to be the only one, and it doesn't want us to know that we're a blend.
Well, point. And that whole notion of linear pilgrim's progress, we started out being a lowly worm and unenlightened, and then all of a sudden, we're enlightened. Is such BS in my view. I can be so smart 1 second and so out of it the next. And it's all happening at the same time, so it doesn't make me either wise or unwise. I mean,
it just makes you.
Yes, both. In the same nanosecond.
Yeah.
Can't find my way out of a paper bag, and then that's pretty good.
It's such a gift for that to be okay in one's personality. There are so many people who have horrible fear of finding that to be true. Well, what does it mean that I was smart just now, and now I couldn't figure that out. But what's wrong with that?
It keeps us humble.
Some things just are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And I think the Seth material it's not unique, but certainly one of the few worldviews that that avoids that kind of hierarchical spirituality.
Yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
that doesn't insist not only on institutions but on hierarchy. I remember having some knockdown, drag out, friendly discussions about hierarchy, and
Yes.
still struggle. Not that there isn't a division of labor or we're not different.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyway, enough of that. Go ahead.
But I think
Go back to what you were
culture,
talking about.
no, I think every culture has that same struggle that you're speaking of. You know, as the culture
Yeah, but
grows.
There's really no higher or lower. It's
But
just
they don't want to admit that.
Things just are. I
It's
mean,
different.
we put our own labels on them, but there really is no higher or lower, or
Right.
left or right, or good or bad. You know, it just is. It's all with how you perceive it.
Yeah,
I think Seth. I think Seth does talk about expanding in the now our capacity to hold more in our moment point or in our current field of vision. You know what I mean? That we can grow in awareness, the broader scope that we're aware of in any moment. But again, it's not hierarchical. It's what we're choosing to focus on can be broader or more narrow, but it doesn't mean better or worse. It's just,
that's a super important point.
You know, and
I
it's
think
easy to conflate those, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think
You
the
know,
whole world culture is suffering from an inability to understand what you just said.
Seth says that everything that's ever been known or ever will be known is already known.
Yes.
So our challenge is to what are we going to focus on, and are we going to allow ourselves to expand our focus to find the new things that our focus hasn't brought into focus yet?
Yeah. All from this moment point, all from this place. Yeah.
Spacious present.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I knew there was a word for that. I remember that. Anyway, I'm not going to stay, guys. I just wanted to say hi. I've got actually 3 Zoom meetings following today. So I just wanted to say I'm thinking about you and glad you're still hanging in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd better get my homework done for my next meeting. So luckily this one didn't require homework, so I could pop in briefly. So, but I'm thinking about you every week.
Please come back every chance you get, spontaneously bopping in or out, whatever works for you. I got to tell you, when you came in, Kate and I were like sitting back and we muted ourselves because we were talking and we're saying, God, I'm loving what's going on here. Just listen to you guys talking and just this is just what we long for. Yeah. And
I just got so excited to see you pop in. Oh, thank you. Yes.
It's wonderful to see you all.
I'll be digesting your words for hours after.
Oh my, don't even go there. But I'll stop in again.
Well, you have a way with words. You have a way with putting things in such a way that it's wonderful and resonant. It just, we enjoy you.
Thank you.
And it stimulates
your conversation.
It brings out the best in everyone. Okay, thank you for having that effect.
Right.
I feel like I'm being better behaved as soon as you walk in the room. Okay, Ellen, chair, sit up straight.
I'm going. Oh, I didn't have a close. You guys hang in. I'll see you again.
Thanks, Ellen.
Take
Bye,
care.
Ellen.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
You know,
Oh,
it's so
nice.
nice. I really
Nice.
want to thank all of you for being here because it's so nice. It's so refreshing just to sit down and talk with a bunch of Sethies.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
the gist of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I wanted to throw in an analogy that came to my mind as Jeffrey was talking about raising of consciousness and that there's no up or down or levels. I think of these strange things every once in a while, but I compare life to like either radio stations or cable TV, where you
Yeah.
almost infinite number of channels, and you
Mm.
go from frequency on the radio or the TV to higher levels of frequency,
Mm-hmm.
almost unlimited numbers of programs or stations. But the programs at the bottom level aren't any better or worse than the programs at the top level.
Right.
They're all different
Right.
and unique, but being lower or higher on the chain doesn't make you better. It just makes you
Right.
different.
Different.
And some
Yeah.
of them are
Yeah.
pay-per-view, which means you have to learn how to get there.
Right. And it just adds to the mix, but it's
And the currency keeps changing.
yes.
Now, Carol Ann on Facebook said, we each vibrate at different or similar frequencies and are consistent. I used to hate and resist change. Now I find it fun. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's a lot like fiber optics. They all travel down the same cable. They're only separated by the frequency of the light vibrations.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know what
Yeah.
separated them. That's interesting.
Somebody's
way
got to
said it.
really explain that to me, because when you think about everything that the complexities of even just one single photograph that's portrayed on a TV screen, the tens of thousands of bits of information that need to create just one picture, and there's
Mm-hmm.
just and every show is streaming at 30 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it's
Fiber optic
watching.
cable, along a fiber optic cable are hundreds of stations and information and audio, and it's just
Yeah, but you know, each fiber optic cable has hundreds of fiber optics in them, and each one carries bands of light, and all the light is separated by frequency. So they each band inside the fiber optic band, I don't know how many stations it can
Wow.
take, because it's all separated by the
Yeah.
bands of light frequency in each one. It's just
Mhm.
amazing.
yeah. Who figured out how fast the light can blink to make all that information happen so fast? That's my
Wiser minds than my own.
So everyone has their specialty. Some people understand the universe in one language, and some people can experience it and express it in another language. So there's the language of science,
Yeah.
fiber art, and art,
Music.
humor.
Yeah.
Humor.
Y'all
music.
need
And
humor.
And they're all different resonances, all different frequencies.
Rebecca
And we
says, love and light and create alternate realities.
Yeah.
And we all come together as
Same
one
to
big
you,
symphony.
Rebecca.
One
Exactly.
big symphony.
Yes. I like that analogy very much. It is a symphony, isn't it? And we
all
look
bring
for
our
the
own little
chords.
something.
We look to create chords that resonate with whatever key we are in. You know?
We each bring our own little light vibrational frequency and create a rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all learning to master our own instruments that we
Exactly.
are, to be in a resonance with each other as we co-create this
Right.
again, this is the word symphony.
Yes.
Together in
Yeah.
this place and time.
And sometimes we're playing in unison, and sometimes we're soloing, and sometimes we're doing duets and whatever.
Sometimes we
Yeah.
hit that flat note.
And then we all laugh together. It's like,
Yes.
we all do that. Yeah, we're still learning how to
The
play.
cacophony. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
wonderful. Whatever it is, it's good. and I think it works.
Life
And
is
I think that we're attracting more and more people that want to feel it too.
I keep expecting Seth to pop in on an open square.
Well,
If Helen can do it, Seth can do it.
we'll have
You're
to
going to
talk to
conjure
Ron
that up.
Proctor.
We're conjuring it up.
Yes. You conjure it up. You just
Inviting.
watch.
You got to do that someday, just on the side with another computer. Just blast there's Seth, and it's like,
I was thinking it. My
Yeah, we'll
wicked
make a
little brain.
Seth puppet and make him appear. That'd be a surprise.
Yeah, it'll surprise you when he pops in next to it.
Yeah, right. He'll be
that
beside
is
himself.
funny.
it's Seth.
Oh.
Beside himself.
That's holding
Ah.
My level of humor.
That is funny. He'll be beside himself.
Kind of like a puppet within a puppet. There's Seth holding a Seth puppet, and then there's Seth too, and then there's
Exactly. I was thinking that we'd have a Seth 2 puppet with the other Seth inside it.
that's kind of how entities work. We're all. I don't want to think like we're puppets or that somebody has their hand up me, but but that save that thought. But that that there's this beautiful cosmic blending of consciousness expanding, and that
Right.
every part of consciousness, spiritual consciousness, is in its right atmosphere, in its right environment, manifesting its right self. Okay, I'm manifesting a body in the earth 2020, perfect. And there's so many other parts of me and so many parts of you that are manifesting perfect. It can only be perfect. It's what we're part of, this massive universe of
Okay, I need to say this, and I hate to say this. So we've got what, about 12,
It's kind of a
12
geek
minutes
moment.
to go. It is a geek moment. So we are out on the road, and I do not have my charger on the computer, so I'm at 4% battery. And I just got a notification saying low battery, low battery. So what I would like to ask, and we'll take this opportunity as a test. Nikki, I made you a co-host. If you have the room on your computer, if you would hit the record button and record if I lose connection, and you guys could just keep going as long as you guys like.
Right. I see the record button.
But when when you lose us, just click the record button so that you could get the rest of the recording, and then you and I'll work together to figure out how to get it on.
To get them together. Okay.
Yeah, but it will continue.
And this
but
is
then, we don't have long to go. You might be able to kind of slide into home plate.
Well, it might. It's at 4% right now. But part of this is that, if Oshar and I have to leave because we do have commitment, if you guys still want to chat and there's more that you want to say, just stay. I can
keep talking till next week, and we'll just join you later.
Yeah. I mean, I can end my being on here, and we can, if the battery dies, it'll just shut off. It won't stop the group unless I end the meeting for everyone. So as long as I don't do that, you guys can continue.
I have an announcement.
Yes. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have an announcement. Seth Directory has been offline. I've been upgrading it. So the Seth community has a new address. It's sethcommunity.com. Seth Directory has its own address, which is sethdirectory.com. The two are separate now. So Seth Community has a whole new look and a whole bunch of fun stuff going on. To say you don't have to create a new account. If you had an account on the old site, it's still active. So
are we on both?
For now.
Okay.
Eventually, the directory will be just for people who put in directory listings.
Uh-huh.
But it's offline right now because I've been focusing on the Seth community. So visit us at sethcommunity.com.
Okay.
Lots of new, and it's a whole new look, a lot of new features. You'll see once you get there.
All right.
I'm so glad you're telling us about this, Jeff. Can you write something on our page, our Facebook page about it, and put a link in there to it so that people can find you and everybody can like it too? And
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
so
That's
excited.
good.
I'm asking everybody for help with content now because, we're just getting started. We need posts like Seth videos, your Seth pictures, and talking with each other, trying to make it a little more friendly than what it was. We went through some growing pangs, and now it seems to be taking on its own life of its own. So
That is wonderful.
look forward to seeing
So
everybody.
proud of you. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Grateful.
SethCommunity.com.
And for those of you who don't know out there, go to these two websites, especially Seth Community. So Seth Directory is down right now.
Being upgraded.
Being upgraded.
Yeah.
And Seth Community. So for those of you who don't know, hearing about it for the first time, it's a wonderful, important website that Jeff has created to unite Sethies all over the world. Join it. Get on over there right now and join it. And yeah, please write something on our Facebook page so that more people
can put. And I do want everybody to understand that it's an international Seth community. You don't have to be in the United States to become a member. You can be from wherever.
I'm on it. Yeah.
On it.
I know that. So I'm far away.
And it's
a good
real name.
It is.
For the people who are involved in the Seth community, and you have like online videos and seminars and things, post them on Seth community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that needs to be a place where Sethies around the world come together to have a conversation. Like Facebook, Seth, this is really all about Seth on your.
I just put in a Seth document.
Say that
depository.
Again.
Seth documents. It's a
Seth document.
Seth documents depository. It's to post a lot of the things that were not digital in the pre-digital age that we're on paper and faxes and stuff. So it's a document depository.
Oh, that's
this is
wonderful.
So important. This is like all this Seth information in one place that you could just go down the rabbit hole and be a happy little rabbit.
Yeah, and it's for everybody. It's for the community. So I hope everybody uses it. And if they have any problems, just email me at info@sethcommunity.com.
Yeah.
And Jeff is very responsive. He answers very quickly.
Yes, he does.
And
he's very helpful.
He makes it work. He fixes things.
Yeah, because I was having trouble.
Whatever you have. Yeah, whatever problems you have, I'll help you with it.
Yeah.
You fixed mine almost before I could even mention it.
So I feel like the future of Sethiness is in what Jeff is working on now, that's going to be the go-to place, these websites. That anything about Seth, they can find it in the documents, in the video libraries, everywhere. And so this is like the future of human consciousness. So, I don't want to try to make it sound, but I can't make it sound too big.
No, it really is the future of human consciousness.
What?
It really is the future of human consciousness, just like you said.
Right, now we got to stop. Hold on just a sec. We're at 1%.
We're at 1%.
So let's just, Kate and I are going to make our exit, possibly abruptly without being able to blow kisses. But it's all up to Mickey now.
I'm already recording.
Oh, good. Yay! So we've handed Mickey the keys to the city. She is now your babysitter, everybody. Your nanny. And I guess
the inmates are about to run the prison.
Okay. Yeah. And
food fight.
And we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yep, hopefully with a card.
Functional
I have to go now too.
I
so,
really have to go
yeah.
too.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
wait. We have to try this experiment. So this is a big
Okay.
experiment and see if we can pass the torch. So we can
Yeah.
all say bye now, but let's just have Kate and Oshara click themselves off. But you guys stick around to make sure,
Okay.
you know, the flow keeps flowing
Yeah,
here.
it's recording. I just checked it.
Oh,
It's
thank
recording.
you, Mickey. We love you, Bob, Audrey, Jeff.
We are
Safe
glad.
travels, guys.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Love you.
Glad to see you.
Love you back.
You guys stay
Bye.
We'll
on.
be back soon.
I'm
Stay
not
on,
even
keep
going to say
talking.
be good.
All right.
Our interpretation of good.
Be good.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah.